My name is Ryan, and on this channel we explore the people, places, and things of a country. Other channels might focus on geography, history, or tourist attractions. And while I do that, my main focus is on the people and how they have contributed to the larger global community. Today we take an inside look to explore Serbia, a land rich in history, home to awe-inspiring geography, and fueled by a spirit of resilience and innovation. Let's start with where Serbia is and what's there. Serbia is a landlocked country located in the Balkan Peninsula in Southeast Europe. Slightly smaller than the American state of South Carolina, it's situated at the crossroads of the Pannonian Basin, a landform we explored in our Hungary video, and the Balkans, a region that's had its share of conflict in recent decades. Often referred to as the crossroads of Europe, 8 other nations border Serbia. There are 5 statistical regions within Serbia. Vojvodina is in the northernmost part of Serbia and is in the Pannonian Basin, giving it the most fertile land in the country. It's home to Novi Sad, the second largest city in Serbia. In a country made up of 83% Serbs, Vojvodina is by far the most multi-ethnic and multicultural, with 26 ethnic groups and 6 official languages within its borders. Combined into one region in 2010, Šumadija in western Serbia is the largest statistical area by land. It's home to Studenica Monastery, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the park with my favorite name in the world, Tara National Park. It's my wife's name. The beautiful Tara National Park is one of the last places in Europe where bears can still live in absolute freedom. Uvac Gorge in southwestern Serbia, a natural wonder, is ground zero for saving the griffon vulture, a large bird that almost went extinct. The southern and eastern Serbia region is the poorest in the country and as a result is most affected by depopulation. Its largest city is Niš, Serbia's third largest city and home to the Niš Skull Tower. More on that terrifying sight in a bit. You can also find Mount Erting, which has a cone-like peak, making it look like a big natural pyramid. Belgrade is the capital and largest city of Serbia. One of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Europe, the legendary Vinča culture evolved within the Belgrade area in the 6th millennium BC. On a side note, Belgrade has been chosen as the city with the best nightlife in the world by Lonely Planet, if you like that kind of thing. These days I'm more of a breakfast sandwich and coffee kind of guy. Don't judge. And finally, and certainly the most controversial, is the statistical area of Kosovo and Metohija. Serbia says Kosovo is a part of Serbia. Kosovo disagrees. So which is it? The honest answer is that it's complicated. We'll look a bit deeper later in the episode. Gotta hold some things back to keep you around. They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems and solve them. I run through the money. Serbia is home to 6.6 million people, 8.4 million if you count the people living in Kosovo. Over 80% of its people are ethnic Serbs, with the largest minority groups being Hungarian, Bosniak, and Roma people. In the 19th century, the Serbian people began to strongly identify themselves as a nation, even though they lived under different empires. This sense of identity was shaped by several important factors. They include the Serbian Orthodox Church, the Serbian language, the legend of the 1389 Battle of Kosovo, which in part explains why Serbia is so unwilling to agree to Kosovo's independence, and the common legacy of the Nemanja dynasty. Other things that culturally bind the people of Serbia include the celebration of Slava, a tradition where families have a patron saint to whom they celebrate on that saint's feast day. Serbs also demonstrate inat, a cultural trait that is best defined as a strong sense of stubbornness, defiance, or resistance against challenges. If you're Serbian, I'd love to hear some of your real-life examples of inat in the comments. There's so much more I want to share in so little time. For example, Serbs are known for their hospitality, their weddings can last for days, and they rank 4th in the world in the use of tobacco. Notable people include Saint Sava of Serbia, a prominent figure in Serbian history and the founder of the Serbian Orthodox Church. Born as Rasko Nemanja in 1174, he later became a monk and took the name Sava. It is believed that as many as 18 Roman emperors were born in present-day Serbia. They include Aurelian, among the greatest emperors in Roman history due to keeping the empire from collapsing during the crisis of the 3rd century, and Constantine the Great, the emperor who converted to Christianity and made it tolerated in the Roman Empire, thus spreading its influence. Looking at more recent people from present-day Serbia, Milanka Savic is the most decorated woman in the history of warfare. When her brother was told to fight in the First Balkan War, Savic went in his place. Her true identity as a woman wasn't discovered until she was injured while fighting in her 10th battle. In all, Savic fought in 3 wars, including World War I. In one battle, she single-handedly captured 23 Bulgarians. One of the most important scientists in history, Nikola Tesla, was born an ethnic Serb in Croatia. I knew his nationality was contested by Croatia and Serbia, but didn't know its extent until reading some comments left on my Croatia video. What do you think? And Serbian double agent Duško Popov is believed to be one of, if not the influence for Ian Fleming's world-renowned character James Bond. Popov. Duško Popov. Kinda has a ring to it. Serbs are good, really good at sports, especially in tennis. Current and former Serbian star tennis players include Novak Djokovic, who has been ranked ATP World #1 for a record total of 389 weeks in a record of 12 different years. 3 fantastic women's players, Monica Seles, Ana Ivanovic, and Jelena Jankovic, have all spent meaningful time as the women's #1 player in the world. And knocking Vlade Divac off this list is basketball player Nikola Jokic, a 2-time MVP and NBA champion. Speaking of which, if you like learning about our global community, please slam the like and subscribe buttons, and hit the bell button before the final buzzer sounds in this video. Have you ever heard of the trend of 2 people connecting a lock to a bridge or monument to symbolize their eternal love? You might have done it yourself. This phenomenon dates back 100 years to a bridge named the Bridge of Love in the Serbian town of Vrnjačka Banja. Due to a tragic story of a local woman committing her love to a soldier going off to fight in World War I, who in turn gave his love to another woman, other local girls started attaching padlocks on the love bridge, displaying that nothing could break the love that they and their sweethearts have for each other, except for some bolt cutters. The word vampire originates from 18th century Serbia, where it was observed that locals had begun the practice of killing vampires, which in itself can get tricky because to become a vampire you have to already be dead. The first reported vampire was the corpse of Serbian peasant Petar Blagojevic. According to legend, the villagers reported that the undead Blagojevic was seen walking around at night and attacking people. All told, his corpse was credited with killing 9 people. There's no word on whether he looked like Robert Pattinson, or Brad Pitt, or Tom Cruise. Evidently, Hollywood doesn't like ugly vampires. In an effort to speed up the process of cutting hair, Serbian inventor and barber Nikola Bezumic invented the handheld hair clipper. To make it happen, Bezumic left Serbia for London, to where he was able to secure investors. Within 10 years, barber shops across the continent had widely adopted Bezumic's device, transforming the haircutting experience. I'm not taking sides in was Tesla Serbian or Croatian argument, but having highlighted him in the Croatia video, I'd like to take this time to present a few other renowned Serbian scientists. They include Milutin Milankovic, a mathematician, astronomer, and physicist who is best known for his work in understanding long-term climate, known as Milankovic cycles, in which he theorizes that climate trends are created by orbital changes of the Earth, axial tilt, and precession, which helps explain phenomena such as ice ages. And Mihailo Pupin, known for his significant contributions to the field of telecommunications and his work in electromagnetism. He is perhaps most famous for his invention of the Pupin coil, which greatly extended the range of long-distance telephone communication. And finally, though it being the first ever is disputed, the first aerial dogfight in World War I, if not history, happened at the Battle of Sur, when Serbian aviator Miodrag Tomic came across an Austro-Hungarian plane. After waving at each other as was early tradition, the other pilot pulled out a revolver and shot at the Serb. Tomic then began shooting back with his pistol. He managed to escape, and within several weeks, all Serbian and Austro-Hungarian planes were fitted with machine guns, because using a pistol is kinda silly when you think about it.
Summer turning cold, babies growing old, I'm buying.
It is estimated that between 4 and 6 million people of Serbian descent live outside of Serbia. Serbs left the country in 4 major waves. They are economic emigration occurring from the end of the 19th to the beginning of the 20th century. Political emigration from 1945 until 1967 of anti-communist regime members, better known as the Chetnik immigration. A second economic emigration from 1967 up until the 80s, and political emigration in the 1990s due to Serbs fleeing as a result of the Yugoslav wars. There are an estimated 750,000 to 1 million people of Serbian ancestry living in the United States. With a population of around 300,000, the city of Chicago is believed to have the largest population of Serbs outside of Serbia. And then a nugget of information I wasn't expecting to find: Serbs played a role in early Alaska, with many coming in the 1890s due to the Klondike Gold Rush. Notable Serbian Americans include George Fisher, a customs officer and early leader of the Texas Revolution, and actress Mila Jovovich. As many as 600,000 people with Serbian ancestry live in Germany, with the majority living in the states of North Rhine-Westphalia, Baden-Württemberg, and Bavaria. German singer and television personality Nadia Ben-Isa is part Serbian on her mother's side. With between 250,000 and 300,000 people, Serbs make up the second largest ethnic minority group in Austria, with most arriving in the 60s and 70s via the migrant worker program. One famous Austrian Serb is Marko Arnautovic, one of my favorite footballers due to his skill and his time at my favorite club, Stoke City. And around 250,000 Canadians have Serbian ancestry. The earliest Serbian settlers were young single men who worked in the mining and forestry industries in British Columbia. Several notable Canadians have Serbian ancestry, including boxing champion Jelena Mrdjenovic.
Better get up on my way. This is the start of a new day. Feel fresher than toothpaste.
Serbian cuisine is a result of centuries of cultural contact with the Greeks, the Byzantine Empire, the Ottomans, and Serbia's Balkan neighbors. Seasonal food is an important element of Serbian cuisine. Thus, many dishes are strongly associated with a specific time of the year. Notable Serbian dishes include cevapi, small minced meat sausages usually made from a mix of beef and pork that are often grilled and served with flatbread, chopped onions, and sometimes a creamy dairy spread. Karađorđeva šnicla, named after Karađorđe Petrovic, a Serbian revolutionary leader, consists of a breaded and stuffed meat roll, typically filled with a mixture of cheese, ham, or other ingredients. And Ivar, a roasted red pepper and eggplant spread used as a condiment, dip, or spread. It has a smoky flavor and is often enjoyed with bread or grilled meats. The most expensive cheese in the world is Pule, a Serbian cheese made from 60% Balkan donkey milk and 40% goat's milk. The cheese is produced in Zasavica Nature Reserve and costs up to $1,300 a kilogram. Evidently, donkeys are not an easy animal to milk. I tell you how it tastes, but I can't afford it. Rakia is a popular spirit in the Balkans, specifically in Serbia. Produced from fermented and distilled fruits, typically plums and grapes, but also apricots, pears, cherries, or raspberries, it's generally sold at 40% ABV, but stronger if you make it at home. Serbia is a parliamentary republic and the dominant party is the Serbian Progressive Party. They head the Together We Can Do Everything coalition, which if nothing else sounds inclusive. The chief of state is President Aleksandar Vučić, and the head of government is Prime Minister Ana Brnabić, both of the Serbian Progressive Party and in power since 2017. Serbia had one of the first modern constitutions in Europe, the 1835 Constitution, which was at the time considered among the most progressive and liberal constitutions in Europe. Since then, it has adopted 10 different constitutions, with the current one being adopted in 2006. If at first you don't succeed, try again, right? As for the economy, Serbia is one of 8 candidate countries to join the European Union. Serbia applied to join in 2009, but several issues have kept them from admittance, with the EU citing Serbia's lack of reforms, issues with rule of law, and with freedom of the press. In agriculture, Serbia is a world leader in the production of raspberries and plums, ranking 3rd in each. Serbia is also one of the largest providers of frozen fruit to the EU. The country's primary industrial exports are automobiles, base metals, furniture, and pharmaceuticals. The energy sector is one of the largest and most important sectors in the country's economy. Serbia has an abundance of coal and significant reserves of oil and gas. In terms of tourism, Serbia isn't one of the most visited countries in Europe, but there are some great places to visit. Most of their visitors come from their neighbor Bosnia and Russia. Some notable places include the Niš Skull Tower, a unique and somber structure built in the early 19th century during the period of Ottoman rule. Built by the Ottomans as a warning to discourage further uprisings, it was constructed using the skulls of Serbian rebels who had been killed during the first Serbian uprising. Kalemegdan is a historic fortress complex located in Belgrade. Its history dates back to ancient times when it was settled by various civilizations, including the Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans. It has served as a military fortification, a center of governance, and a cultural and recreational space. The Church of St. Sava is the largest Orthodox church in Serbia and one of the largest in the world, with construction beginning in 1935 on the believed burial site of St. Sava himself.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up.
As mentioned earlier in the video, Kosovo was an autonomous province in Yugoslavia and then Serbia in the 1990s, but 90% of the people identify as Albanian, with most of the rest being ethnic Serbs. Tensions between the ethnic Albanians and Serbs escalated in the late 1990s, leading to the Kosovo War, a year-and-a-half event that killed several thousand and displaced even more. After the war, the UN Security Council established Resolution 1244, which put Kosovo under interim administration of the UN, but technically left them as a self-administering region in Serbia, or at least until a resolution could be made, and we are still waiting for a resolution. In 2008, Kosovo declared its independence, but Serbia did not recognize it. Today, there is still a dividing response by the international community. About half of the UN nations support Kosovo independence, but in order to pass, there needs to be a 2/3 vote. Making it more inconclusive are Russia and China's support of Serbia. Either country could and would veto if a 2/3 majority was reached. So for the foreseeable future, Serbia will believe Kosovo is part of Serbia, while Kosovo sees itself as an independent nation. And finally, Drevngrad, also known as Wooden Town or Mechavnik, is a unique and picturesque village located in the Zlatibor district of Serbia. It was created in 2004 by the Serbian film director Emir Kusturica as a film set for his movie Life is a Miracle, and it has since become a tourist destination and cultural center. Drevngrad aims to recreate an ethno-village ambiance, providing visitors with an opportunity to experience traditional Serbian culture, crafts, and way of life. You can find beauty in every culture on the planet. Despite the political messiness of the Balkan Peninsula in recent history, each country is filled with beautiful cultures that can help us better understand and appreciate unique aspects of our global community. From the celebration of Slava to the stubbornness of Enoch, Serbia has an amazing story to tell. Thanks for watching and learning more about our global community.